Welcome. On behalf of Yeye agency, I'm happy to be joined by Mr. Armagan Hazar. He's the managing director of Ford Trucks Czechia, who will be sharing his business experience and insights into the Czech automotive market. Very exciting. Thank you for joining me, Mr. Hazar.
Thank you very much. Thank you. By the way, not only Czech, but also Benelux and Nordics as well.
Exactly. And we'll get into that. So to start off, Ford Trucks International is a very well-established company which sells its vehicles to over 40 countries around the world. So share with us, how has Ford Trucks grown in recent years?
Well, in very short summary, by a good strategy, planning and execution. Of course, it's a very standard answer, but really, we made a very good strategic planning, created short, mid, and long-term plans, made prioritization within the markets, and then took necessary actions. We started with the products. We developed the required products for the markets. In parallel, we selected our dealers, distributors, so we created a dealer-distributor network. Of course, while doing that, finding the right partners is very, very critical. And then we established our market expansion plan and we split it into phases. So we went it step by step and then we proceeded accordingly. The international markets operation strategy of us as Ford Trucks is to work with the exclusive distributors that are financially capable and able to establish a country-wide sales and service network. In our business model, our distributors are the owners of Ford Trucks operations in their own countries. So we are dealing with the distributors, and distributors are creating all their operations, all their sales activities, after sales activities, marketing activities. They provide the rental, leasing offers to the customers. So everything regarding with the customers are led by our distributors, and we support our distributors. Of course, we have our own branded consumer finance partners, which we are also asking our distributors to communicate and create customer financing models by using that ones. The reason behind this strategy is because we believe that this is the fastest and most efficient way to penetrate into a market, together with the distributors and working with the right partners. Of course, our goal is to spread across Europe. And our priority plans were to exist in Eastern and Central Europe. But after the success of our iToy Awards winning F-Max product, we revised our growth plans due to the heavy demand coming from the Western Europe countries, and we rearranged our international organizational structure. Now, our priority in Europe, especially in the Western Europe, is to set up a strong Ford Trucks footprint, which will bring us sustainable success. And the main pillars of this strong footprint are solid product portfolio, good dealer network, wide service coverage within high competency, and of course, competitive positioning in terms of total cost of ownership. So, well, we believe that this strategy will also bring us success in all other European markets that we plan to enter in the upcoming years.
I very much believe so too. If we talk about your trucks, just run us through the process of manufacturing and production. What makes up a high quality truck?
Well, that's a very good question. As an innovative brand that listens to our customers' needs, we focus our R&D efforts on bringing the next generation technologies to the markets. We believe that we can add the most value for the customers by lowering the total cost of ownership, and with each new product that we developed, our goal is to help our customers manage their business in a more profitable way. Our R&D organization possesses all the capabilities and infrastructure required to design, develop, and test a whole vehicle, including its engine, from scratch to the complete commercial product. Actually, our R&D organization is particularly focused on also innovations in engine, engine systems, body and interior design development projects, as well as fuel economy, emissions optimization, driver support systems, and the advancement of analytical methods and testing processes. So together with our R&D team, our manufacturing team is also works very closely. And in our manufacturing facility, we also used very high standards, new technology, robots, and all equipments. So together with engineering, together with manufacturing, and of course, the proper logistic operations that support those functions, we built a perfect truck that our customers require. We also, as our engineering, we also work on the future projects as well, like the autonomous truck, electrified powertrain engineering, total cost of ownership reduction actions, carbon emissions reduction actions, lightweighting products, etc. So we are also at the same time working on those kind of future projects and future technologies as well.
And if we talk about your operations in Czechia, what were some of the challenges that you faced over the course of operating Ford Trucks Czechia?
Well, as you know, Czech is located at the center of East and West and North and South Europe, and at the intersection point of three important international transport routes. So Czechia is strategically at a very important location for us. So it is like an entrance to the Western Europe for us. And country has really strong economy, and the unemployment rate is really low in Czechia. That is why finding the right qualified employees to support our business was not easy at the first stage. So this was our first challenge, because we found the right partners as the distributors, and we asked them to establish their own organization to support our business. But finding the right person with, of course, required qualifications wasn't very easy at the first stage. I have to say that this was our first challenge. The second one is related with the customers, because in Czechia, it is really hard to change the customers' habits and customers', behaviors. They are really connected to their current brand, so it was not very easy for them to convince and make them try for a new brand. And as a newcomer, of course, you have to do it. But how we did it? Well, we had lots of test trucks available in the market. So whenever we went to a customer, if they have a question mark in their mind, we were offering them, okay, use our test truck, use it for a period of time, and then if you're satisfied, then let's discuss about the next steps. So we never approached to our customers for selling. We just wanted them to try the product, to feel it, because we believed in our product, and if we know that if they try it, they would definitely like it, and that's why we can move to the next step. That's how we reacted to the customers. And well, actually, our last challenge was again related with the customers. The customer expectations here in Czechia are very high, so they really require premium after-sales services, full downstream activities. They really would like to feel that they are being taken care of very well by the brand that they work with. So that is why we also felt that during our entry stage to the market, and that is how we supported our customers together with the products, of course, our ITO awarded truck, F-Max, and our distributors after sales and downstream activities. We also managed to overcome this challenge as well.
And you've talked to us a bit about the goals for Ford Trucks Czechia and for Ford Trucks International. What would you say were, or maybe still are, some of the barriers to your expansion strategies?
Well, actually, in every country we work with we work with the distributors, as I have explained, and we select our distributors on long and carefully processes after some long and careful processes. And to do this, it is really necessary to analyze each market on a country basis and find the experienced partners with wide network. As you would appreciate, this requires a very detailed working process. And we have solved the problem of not having a service network in the countries that we are not present yet with an agreement signed with tip trailer services. So, I mean, for the countries that we currently don't have a distributor, we made a special agreement with a service provider and after sales provider. And in those countries, we established our network there. And when we assign the distributors, we are asking our distributors to go and check with that after sales provider, tip trailer, and then they agree on the next steps and they agree on how to cover the countries. On the other hand, we are also very well aware that the issue of spare parts is also very important for our customers in especially Europe. And to overcome this, I mean, we know that the parts must go very fast so that the business is never distributed because, you know, we are in the logistic business and logistic should never stop. And as a solution to the spare parts operation, we have also established a spare part distributor center in Warsaw, Poland. That is how we are right now supporting all other European countries from that warehouse. So those are really, those were really barriers for our expansion strategy. But with all those actions, we believe that we managed to overcome those barriers, and we are going quite well in most of the European countries now.
Perfect. And do you have any local support in the countries where you've expanded?
For sure, yes. We as an OEM believe that you can only be successful together with your distributor, because as I have explained in the previous question, our business model is to assign the exclusive distributorships in the markets for the markets, and they deal with the customers. That's why we believe that to satisfy your distributor, to make it profitable, and to make it happy, makes your end customers also happy and satisfied. That's why we are trying to support our distributors as much as we can. We have two types of incentives. The first one is our incentives during the launch entry phase of a country. We support our distributors for the first batch of their trucks, spare parts, and special tools required for after-sales activities. And we also cover the corporate identity and brandings of the facilities. We also support the investments required for the facilities, because some of the distributors, they do have a facility, but it needs to be some investments required. That's why we are also supporting those activities as well. And of course, during the entry phase, you definitely need to make marketing activities like press launch, like the facility openings, etc., like the road shows. And we support all those activities during the launch phase as well. Our second type of support incentive is our continuous support that we give to our distributors to support their business and make them more profitable during the year. So this is not only at the entry phase, but each year, based on our distributors' requests, their requirements, their needs, we, as the OEM, get together and we create an incentive program for sales, after sales, and also marketing. and we announce it to the distributors, and each year we are supporting them. For example, we are offering special pricing and payment conditions for test trucks. We are covering up to 60% of their marketing costs. We are offering special subsidies for customer financing models. We are supporting their buyback operations, their trade-in operations. We are offering special discounts for the fleets. And yeah, I mean, not only those activities, but also we are signing a business plan for sales, after sales and marketing at the beginning of each year with the distributors. And then at the end of the year, we are evaluating the results. And based on the results that they achieve according to the business plan, we are also giving them a year-end bonus from the revenues that they achieve. For the sales business plan, for example, we are giving them a bonus from their total annual sales revenue. So we are making a calculation, and we are calculating like a percentage from that revenue, and we are giving it as a bonus to the distributors. Same applies for after sales activities, same applies for marketing activities as well. So according to their business plan results and according to the their annual revenue at the year end, we are giving incentives and bonus for those operations at the year end.
So definitely, yeah, quite a few incentives. As you've already noted, you also manage operations in the Nordic countries, Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. What would you say are the main business cultural differences between those countries?
Of course, every country has their own dynamics, own customer expectations, own market conditions, and own economic conditions. And the product fit also differs for each country. For example, Luxembourg, as you know, it's a very small country and it's very close to Belgium. So before we started negotiations, we started business discussions with them, we were thinking that, well, probably the product requirements were very similar with Belgium, but it's not the case. For example, in Luxembourg, it's mostly a construction truck market, but Belgium is mostly a tractor, so logistic market. Also, the geographical location, the infrastructure, the government future plans, future projects, and government supports affect our sector dramatically. So each country has their own needs, own requirements, and own realities. That's why we, as the OEM, need to support and need to treat each country in a different way. And also for the people, there are also some cultural differences. For example, Benelux countries, as you probably know, they are very strong in trading. So for them, the total cost of ownership is very important. So it is the most important thing during the negotiations. But for example, in Nordics, people are more focused on technical side. So they are more focused on the specs, specifications of the truck, the reliability of the truck, the usage of the truck. So that is how you need to approach to those customers as well. So those are quite major cultural differences between those countries, which are, you know, very close to each other.
Very close, but yet very different, right? Talking a bit about your goals. In your recent presentation, you stated that Ford Trucks is planning to increase sales, improve global brand awareness, and reach economies of scale by 2023. Did the pandemic alter these plans in any way?
Yes and no, I have to say. Because, for example, I will give you an example, a very, recent example. For example, we have started negotiations, these business plan discussions with our distributor candidate in Belgium last year when the pandemic started. But our distributor and we also believe that the crisis also bring good opportunities for the business. That is why they believe our brand, they believe for trucks, and we believe them. And next week we are making a press conference in Belgium, and we are announcing our new distributor in Belgium. Very similar with Luxembourg. Again, during the, with our Luxembourg, for example, distributor candidates, we have started the discussions at the Hanover CV show in 2018. And during those days, there was no pandemic, nothing, everything was going quite well. But then pandemic started, but they also didn't want to stop. They also didn't want to delay or postpone any activities. That's why by early second quarter of this year, we are also starting the operations in Luxembourg as well. So that is why, it also depends on your distributor's mindset and, of course, your business plans. But yes, in some countries, it has some effects to the business, but just a small delay, I have to say. So nothing dramatically has been revised or changed in our business plan. Our ITOY award winning truck F-Max enabled us to get past a very important threshold in our global expansion plans. And as for trucks, we are in a very serious growth process in Europe. We implement all our plans, and we continue our work with our potential distributors, and we continue to our expansion with launch in new markets. So, I mean, for example, last year, during the pandemic, we started our operations in Spain, Portugal, and Italy. Those were very tough days for those countries, but they achieved significant results last year in those new countries. And as I have explained, this year we are starting in Belgium, in Luxembourg, in Germany, and they will be followed by France, Netherlands, and Austria, and then the Scandinavian markets, hopefully.
It's so refreshing to hear that, with so many businesses crushed by the pandemic, others find those great opportunities for growth and expansion. And I really congratulate you with that. We've talked so much about Ford Trucks International and your goals as a company, but talking about you personally, what were some things from personal and professional standpoint that you've gained from working on this position?
Very good question, and it's very hard for me to explain it, but let me try. I have always worked in global environments. Sorry about that. I have always worked in global environments, but of course, being responsible from the entire business, starting from customer requests, production planning, logistics, payments, sales, marketing, after sales operations, keeping the customer happy, at the same time satisfying your customers and your distributors, and also keep the balance with your OEM, with the facility. So it's really a very challenging job, but when you have this full responsibility from the bottom to the top, from the beginning to the end, you also have the control and have the flexibility to lead your operations in your own way. So this gives you flexibility, freedom, and also very dynamic environment. And at the same time, it is really fun to work in this way. So yeah, I mean, it's really made me learn a lot in this position, because you are always working in a very dynamic environment. You have the full responsibility. You have to keep the balance between distributor, between customer, and between your headquarters. So you are like a bridge between all those activities, all those departments. And at the same time, you are dealing with in different countries with different cultures, as we have discussed in the previous questions. So you have to behave in a different way to a customer in Belgium, in a different way to a customer in Czech Republic, same to your distributors as well, because our distributors are very capable. They know their job very well. They are financially stable companies. So you have to also, but all of them have different approach, have different business styles. So you also have to discuss the details with them in different ways. You have to lead the business in different ways. So this is, as I said, very challenging, but at the same time, very fun and very self-developer for me. Yeah, I have to say that. I just looked for the correct word for it. But yeah, this job really made me to get developed.
That is the most important thing, right? When your personal development is connected to the goals of the company. If you were to, exactly, if you were to reflect on those, on this time that you've spent with Ford Trucks International and on all of your managing operations, what would you say would you do differently in your next expansion countries?
Well, it is really, as I said, not very easy to go back and to, rate yourself or what I need to do differently. Well, actually, to be very honest with you, we as the overall organization did most of the things quite right and at the right time. Because as I have explained, we made a very good strategic planning. We made a good prioritization. We invested to the right products first, and in parallel, we focused first on the Central and Eastern Europe. We established a good footprint there, and based on our experience in those countries, we decided to move to the Western Europe. Before moving those countries, we set up our network services in those countries, especially for the after-sales operations. And then step by step, we established and implemented our long-term strategy. So I think we really did quite well. And as we have also discussed in the previous questions, I think our process of evaluating the distributor candidates, then starting the business plan discussions, making every details there, analyzing all details with this business, etc. They were really, they made us to achieve this success and to find the right partners in those countries. Because when we find a partner, we don't see them just as a distributor. We usually, this is our actually company culture, and this is also Ford Motor Company's culture as well. We establish long-term relationships with our distributors, and we never see them business partners only. We lead this business like a family business, and that is how we approach to our distributors as well. So when we assign a distributor in a market, it means from ourselves that we get a new member to our family. So that's how we reach and we behave to our distributors. And I think that makes us different from the other OEMs as well. That is what we hear from some of our distributors, because some of our distributors, they already have past experiences with some other brands, some other OEMs. Some of them have still some business relationship with some other companies, etc. And that's what we usually hear a lot. I mean, you are really treating us like a family, and that's why we are also approaching you like that. That's what we hear a lot from our distributors, and that's how we really feel, and that's how we try to lead our business. I hope it will continue like that.
Indeed. Mr. Hazar, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible business insights. On behalf of Yeye Agency, I would like to wish Ford Trucks International the most success in your expansion strategies, and you personally, achievement of all of your goals. I hope that you will become even, greater, bigger, and things will go uphill for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your kind words. And if you can manage, please join us in our press conference in Belgium. We are having it by Wednesday next week. So if you are available and if you can manage to travel, I think this is the most important thing now. Please join us there as well.
Yeah, we would absolutely love to. I would, and I'm sure someone from our company would absolutely love to join you. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Hazar, and goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.